Okay, good morning students. Today we are going to discuss about types of auditing. It can be called as classification of audit. The audit can be classified on different types. First one is classification of audit on the basis of organization structure, classification of audit on the basis of degree of independence of auditor, classification of audit on the basis of method or approaches to audit work or basis of extent of work to be performed or on the basis of conduct of audit. Next, the audit can be classified on the basis of specific objectives. So dear students, today we are going to discuss about various types of auditing and what are the advantages of each audit. On the basis of audit, on the basis of organization, on the basis of functions, on the basis of audit approach, on the basis of audit dimensions. This can be classified as basis of different methods. First one, now we are going to discuss about statutory audit. What is meant by statutory audit? Statutory audit refers to audit of accounts of a business enterprises carried out compulsorily under the provision of statute or law. It is the audit carried out compulsorily under statute of any law. For example, depends upon the law, it is mandatory to follow for some organizations. For example, it is an audit, it is done compulsory under the law, as well as this audit is conducted by qualified auditor. In case of statutory audit, the rights, the duties and liabilities of auditors are governed by the law applicable to undertakings. As well as you have to understand, this audit is an independent audit. This audit is an external audit. It is also called complete or full audit. It cannot be partial. So, this audit can be carried out in a number of organizations such as joint stock companies governed by Companies Act, banking companies governed by Banking Regulation Act, insurance companies governed by Insurance Act, electricity supply companies governed by Electricity Supply Act, cooperative societies registered under Cooperative Societies Act. Like that, this is an audit done by various banking, insurance, electricity, cooperative and public and charitable trust. It is an audit, it can be done compulsory under it acts. As well as next we are going to discuss about private audit. What is meant by private audit? Private audit means it is a audit, it is non-statutory audit. These audits are also known as private audit. In this type of audit, duties and powers are decided as per agreement between the auditor and the client. You have to know what is the difference between statutory and statutory audit and private audit. This private audit is carried out by auditor and the client, as well as statutory audit is carried under the law. This is the difference between statutory audit and non-statutory audit. As well as, dear students, now we are going to discuss about on the basis of function. The audit can be classified into internal audit as well as external audit. So, what is meant by internal audit? Internal audit is a continuous and systematic review of accounting, financial and other operation of a concern by staff specially appointed for the purpose. In other words, it is the audit of accounts by the staff specially appointed for the purpose. This audit is conducted by the own staff of the organization. It is done to verify the reliability and authenticity of financial accounting. So, what are the objectives of this internal audit? To ascertain whether internal check and accounting systems are adequate and effective, as well as to ascertain whether the policies, plans and procedures have been complied with, as well as it is done to evaluate the performance of the personnel, as well as this audit suggests the management the improvements desired in internal check systems and accounting systems, as well as it have some features. First one is, it is not compulsory. It is generally undertaken by large concerns. For example, when it is a small business, there will be no huge transactions. So, there will be not compulsory of internal audit. If it is an organization has lot of transactions, whether it may be a large concerns, it need internal audit, because the nature, size and scope of the organization decides whether they have to follow internal audit or not. My dear students, you have to understand that this internal audit is conducted by staff of the concern. The techniques and methods of auditing employed in internal audit are the same as those external audit. It is a integral part of internal control. So, there will be some advantages of internal audit. What are the advantages? First, it is helpful to management to ascertain whether the internal check and accounting systems are adequate and effective to prevent errors and frauds. It helps management to ascertain whether predetermined policies, plans and procedures have to be complied with. It is helpful to ascertain the reality of accounting and other data compiled within organization. So, there will be some disadvantages also in internal audit. It is very few. One is, it is conducted by staff who may not be qualified one, because when internal audit is done, there will be not record of qualified auditor, as well as it is depends upon the decision of management. Whether the management decide to conduct internal audit, it may take internal audit system, otherwise there will be no need. These are the disadvantage of internal audit. And next we are going to discuss about external audit. What is external audit? External audit means it is an audit conducted by independent qualified person and examines the books of accounts and report to the management. Dear students, this is the difference between internal audit and external audit. Internal audit is conducted by own staff and external audit is conducted by qualified chartered accountant, and he will be a external auditor. As well as now we are going to discuss about audit on the basis of approach. On the basis of approach, there will be a time basis as well as scope basis. One is continuous audit. So what is continuous audit? What are its advantages? The continuous audit is one whether the auditor staff is occupied continuously on the accounts whole the year round and perform interim audit. It is an audit under which detailed examination of books of accounts is conducted continuously throughout the year. It is continuous review of accounts of organization. It is generally applicable to banking company and insurance company. So this continuous audit is generally applicable to banking company and insurance company. And what are the advantages of this continuous audit? Number one, easy and quick discovery of errors and frauds, and it helps the technical knowledge as well as quick presentation of accounts. When we are auditing the firm continuously, we can prepare a quick presentation of accounts as well as keep the client staff in regular work, as well as it helps efficient audit, as well as it makes staff very busy. So these are the advantages of continuous audit. And next, now we are going to discuss about interim audit. What is meant by interim audit and what are the advantages? Number one, it is an audit conducted between two annual audits. In the other words, it is the audit conducted in the middle of the financial year. If the audit is conducted between two periods, is called interim audit. It is carried out for some specific purpose for declaring interim dividend and ascertaining interim profit. So with the help of interim audit, what is the advantage? First one, quick discovery of errors and frauds. As well as second advantage is that imposes moral check on client staff, helpful for speed up the final audit. As well as it is a audit which helps the organization to complete within a time period. So this is the features of interim audit. Next, now we are going to discuss about periodical audit or final audit. What is meant by periodical audit or final audit? It is an audit carried out after the preparation of financial statements. It is an audit whether the auditor takes up his work of checking the book of accounts only at the end of the accounting year. In this case, the audit work is commenced and completed in a single uninterrupted session. So, what are the advantages of this audit? Number one, cost of audit is less than that of continuous audit. Audit work is completed in one accounting sitting, not causing any dislocation of client work. It is not mechanical and monotonous. There is no lose the thread of work. So these are the advantages of periodical audit. On the basis of scope, the audit can be divided into two. One is complete audit, another one is partial audit. What is meant by complete audit? Complete audit is a kind of audit under which all records and books of accounts are audited by an auditor. A partial audit is an audit. It is a kind of audit, the scope of which is limited one. It is carried out in respect of only a part of books of accounts of business for a part of whole of the period. So, on the basis of time, the audit can be classified into three. On the basis of scope, the audit can be classified into two. Next, on the basis of objectives, the audit can be classified into two. One is balance sheet audit, another is occasional audit. What is meant by balance sheet audit? Here, balance sheet audit is a type of audit which concentrate mainly on verification of items in balance sheet such as capital, reserves, profit and loss account, balance sheet, liabilities and all assets of the business. So, it is a audit concentrate on balance sheet items. Each balance sheet liabilities items and asset items are verified to know the real value of assets. And next audit is called occasional audit. An occasional audit is an audit which is conducted once a while whenever the needs arises. In other words, it is a kind of audit which is not conducted on regular basis, but it is conducted for a special event, time or purpose. So, on the basis of audit, there will be some dimensions, audit dimensions. What are that? Number one is tax audit. Number two is management audit, cost audit, system audit, social audit, energy audit, proprietary audit. So, you have to know the concept of tax audit. What is meant by tax audit? Tax audit means it is carried out for the purpose of calculating tax. Audit required to carried out of Income Tax Act 1961. It is an audit conducted by certified chartered accountant. It is an audit compulsory for several organizations and it is helpful to know the claiming deductions, reliefs under income tax audit. Next audit is called management audit. What is management audit? So, management audit is an audit to know the plans, policies, procedures, objectives of organization. This audit is done to examination and scrutiny the policies and procedures of an organization. This audit is carried out to take decisions, to carry out the activities level of managers. This audit identifies the duties of managers. It helps the management in achieving coordination among various departments. The advantages of this management audit is it helps to review the plans, procedures, methods and controls. It assesses the performance of each functional area. It suggesting to attainment of management goals. These are the advantage of management audit. What is cost audit? Cost audit means it is a thorough examination of cost accounting records of a company by cost auditor to ensure that they are accurate and they also follow to cost accounting principles, procedures and plans. This audit is carried out for the purpose of to verifying the accounting entries related to cost books, as well as it is carried out to find out whether the cost statements are properly compiled with or not. It is helpful to know the efficiency and inefficiency of handling materials, labor and other expenses. It helps to detect the errors and frauds. And next, now we are going to discuss about system audit. What is meant by system audit? System audit means it is an audit which can be carried out by the system which was followed by every institutions. The systems have several subsystems. On the basis of that, the audit is carried out to achieve the objectives. As well as there is another audit that is called cash audit. Cash audit, under this audit, only cash receipts and cash payments are undertaken. It is a type of partial audit which is undertaken for only cash receipts and cash payments. If any audit carried out only for cash receipts and cash payment, that audit is called cash audit. What is social audit? Here you should know what is social audit. So social audit means it is a systematic study of evaluation of a business enterprise social performance as distinguished from economic performance. Social audit is intended to evaluate the social performance or social contribution of a business organizations. The first social audit is adopted by TISCO. So these are the various types of audit so far we have discussed. I think, dear students, you understand various classification of audits. Each audit have different features and this audit helps the organization to get efficiencies. From this part, I think you have all understand about different types of audit. Let's we conclude this topic in this session. In next class we will discuss another topic. Thank you.